Hello. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on which part of the world you are joining. Are you able to hear me? Okay, so once again, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, on which part of the world you are starting. So this is the first webinar from the Technia Apparel group, talking about the need for the style costing to maximize the profit margin. So let me start with a small thing. So if you look at the apparel domain today, the globalization has made the apparel footwear industry more challenging than ever. Many companies that used to manufacture today are also designing, they do sourcing and also distributing. So there is a greater competition. Consumers are more demanding, and distribution channels are shrinking, and consolidation having a major impact in every aspect of the marketplace. So if you look at the U.S. market today, previously a decade ago there will be at least 50 or 60 or 70 department stores, and now it boils down to 10 or 15. So that's the main consolidation in the marketplace. So the industry has become increasingly consumer and design driven. Fashion trends are changing overnight. Consumers demand new designs and greater choice, and at the same time they want everything to be in a reasonable price. So that is the situation. So let's go to the first part of the slide. So why everybody is thinking this RFA costing is very complex. So as I was mentioning in the beginning, today's fashion market demands companies to create more collections at a very faster rate, but still remain consistently fresh designs, mostly creative, and at a reasonable price. So the reason mainly is, you can see that mostly it is globalization. So many industries are being virtual enterprises going across, and many companies are now, because of the consumer demands, we need to have a seasonal production, seasonless production. That means very aggressive marketing and faster turnaround on the designs, and affordable and profitable fashion. Whenever the styles are available, it need not be expensive. It should be affordable to the consumer. So the complexity we are talking about really is multidimensional. For example, if you look at a simple T-shirt, which is available in many colorways, many size categories in many sizes, and it can be manufactured in the different parts of the world, China, India, and Bangladesh, and also it is being distributed in different parts of the regions. So the variations on the product is very complex to solve. So in nutshell, how we are able to exactly estimate the cost and then to the price tag you can attach to a style before even it is making that style. So it has been extremely challenging without proper tools and technology. So that leads to a big question to be asked: how to price a style? So you might have seen a price tag in the department store or any store or your own company. How you arrive at that price for a style? So costing is the main deciding factor how to fix a style price. So if you look at how to do the costing, it is humongous because it's not only difficult because of all the terms involved, especially coming in with the fabric cost, which is obviously that is going to be 50% of the style. Then you need to have overhead, shipping, accessories, transportation, then packaging, the labor, commission, banking, and so many costing elements coming into your situation, and that play a very vital role in determining the style prices. Of course, when most companies do sample costing just to get an idea before even go to a production line how my style is going to be costed up. So sample costing is also leads to the same thing. So we will cover that when we talk more detail how in Technia we are integrating the processes together so that the same cost sheets we are talking about today can be leveraged in the sample costing as well as in the production costing. So what are the traditional tools? Even though you are using PLM, most of the companies today are still on Excel spreadsheet. So when you do when you walk by a costing department, you will be seeing many Excel spreadsheet is being lying around and flying across the emails and flying to the suppliers and agents and the factories across the globe. It's very difficult to control and store this Excel spreadsheet, and from there the line managers can come back and say that, okay, this particular line or this particular style, or this is my forecasted units and this is my profit margins on. It's extremely difficult because of this chaotic nature of the business today. So we need to have some kind of processes and streamline of these processes and sharing that information across the organization. That's why at Technia we put together a design to cost concept. The idea for the design to cost is to maximize the profit margin. So in these processes, we are putting together a streamlined design process with the ultimate aim of cost, design to cost, meaning we have to control the costing elements so that it will be able to accurately or reasonably well estimate the cost. Then the cost scenarios can be simulated for benchmarking, and at the same time the cost sheets which is been used from the style can be shared across the supplier. So the supplier is very well know the costing elements and what he is bidding for, what he is going to come up with can be easily shared. So we are putting together this streamlined design process for design to cost solution. So in order to do the design to cost, we have put together the process. We start with the seasonal plan. As you know, in the seasonal plan, they can have many products. These products can have many suppliers, 1 or 2 suppliers. Then from there, it is ready to create different cost scenarios. Then the cost scenarios can lead to different cost sheets. Then the cost sheets can be shared across to the suppliers in an efficient way. So in Technia, we are leveraging 2 technologies, especially when you wanted to share the cost sheets. We have been leveraging Box for sharing the cost sheet information, and also we can also share the cost sheets with the suppliers using a traditional FTP methodology. So in a design to cost concept, the cost scenarios can be created directly on a style. The cost scenarios is unique for a supplier, and from that cost scenarios, the cost sheets can be generated, and these cost sheets can be attached to a tech pack. So when you are collaborating with the supplier, the complete package is being shared across the supplier. So he will be knowing what kind of style he is been manufacturing and what kind of cost is going to come. So once the cost sheet is being completed, and it can be easily dragged and dropped very simply, and different cost scenarios can be created inside the ENOVIA platform. Okay, so we have put together a template. So this will be readily available template and can be reused and can be configured. So many of the costing elements, and it will be intuitive, meaning the users will be able to enter the columns which they are supposed to enter, and also once it comes back, it exactly know how to do the calculations based on the CMT or the full package. So it's intelligent enough to pick it up what kind of costing it is to do, and it is easily drag and dropped into the system. There is no fancy way of doing this. It's very cool. It's very cool, and so we can just drag and drop the cost sheets into the ENOVIA, and at the same time, the cost sheets are communicating the different costing elements the company is looking forward. As I was mentioning before, these cost elements, even though it looks simple, when you are talking about volume, it pays a lot of difference. So how you be integrating this cost sheet in the tech pack? So we have the 2 kinds of methodologies available. Once the cost sheets has been there, this can be attached as a reference document to the tech pack. So when the tech pack is being generated, this bundles with the cost sheets for that supplier. So that can be efficiently it be transferred, or it can be collaborated with. So we are liberating 2 technologies especially. Either a tech pack can be collaborated using a box. Box is a very popular file sharing mechanism. So the only requirement here is the supplier who been receiving this tech pack should also have an account in the box folder, so that we can upload the correct tech pack to the suppliers and collaborate it, and very easily share that files with them. If your company is not being signed up with the box, or we don't insist to do that, we can do an FTP rather than, so that the files can be, the core sheets, the tech pack can be easily shared to the suppliers. So the core sheet is in Technia, we have two type of core sheets. Either we can have a very simple core sheet, which generally deals with one style, and the costing elements can be configured. And once the core sheets come back and it uploads to the system, it creates both the supplier cost as well as the landing, and finally do the landed margin calculations. So this is one simple aspect of it, and we also support most very advanced core sheets. The very advanced core sheet is basically handle multiple pieces. For example, when you are dealing with a jacket or a complex gears where it need to be multiple layers. For example, when I take a jacket, it may have 3 layers or 2 layers, and so the cost needs to be controlled in both when you're splitting the pieces. Why? Because when you are doing a landing, the duty can be, have a blended duty can be calculated, and that will be used in the total cost calculation. So this is on a popular demand from some of the customer bases, where they wanted to control the cost aspect for a set. For example, like I was mentioning the jacket example, or a cargo or a cargo pants where you have inner and outer layers are there where go for hiking and sports activities. So when the cost sheets are being generated for this type of complex garments or the gears, then you can see that the sheets are intelligent enough to pick it up the layers. So if the tabs have been formulated based on how many layers you have in the garment. Maybe right now the example which you are seeing is basically the inner and outer. So the tab will give you inner and outer, and the user will be allowed to enter the cost. Most of the information, like the BOM cost and all those things, are being, if the BOM is available in the system, it will take the BOM cost directly from them. That's basically the pre-cost which the developers or the product designers are put into the system. So in the advanced costing module, we have supplier cost. The supplier cost is the one which is being generated first, and it has been communicated to the supplier via the form of cost sheet. And when the cost sheet come back from suppliers, it can be easily dragged and dropped, and it creates the supplier cost. So it is the same like the earlier cost scenario situation. There is no change. The only thing is the process is slightly different. Instead of doing the cost scenario and arriving at the final landed cost, this is doing a splitting because of the duty and other customs are involved activities. And also in this concept, the landing is done based on the region in which it's been getting distributed. Because if you have different regions are there for Europe or for Asia Pacific, you have a different distribution center. The landing and the landing times can be easily configured. So the second part of that advanced costing is the landed cost. So it's similar to the supplier cost. We also have a landed cost cost sheet. So it is very similar to that cost sheet which I showed you, like in the case of supplier cost. That can be generated, and then that will be leveraged for calculating the landed cost. So the landed cost will be based on the region in which it's been there, and based on the landing terms and based on the duty. And in the case of complex, you can, if you want, you can have a split duty, and for the inner and outer pieces, or the pieces which you wanted to do, then you can get a blended duty when you are rolling at the cost. So another important thing we are doing here is the style per colorway. This is one of the most interesting situations, if you remember the slides which you are, which I was mentioning in the beginning. So we have, this is a very interesting situation. So one product can be in multiple colorways, and it can be manufactured in different factories and regions. So the colorway costing is very important. So we also provide a template, so the style can be costed for the colorway and also the distribution. So if you wanted to calculate the T-shirt which is coming yellow and is being available in region US, this cost sheets can easily be leveraged and is fully configurable for end users. Finally, after doing all this costing, the next step is to come up the margin analysis. So we can go at any level of things like style, color, and channel. This is the three ways you can do the margin analysis. It can be style, color level, and the channel level. And also the beauty of the system is based on the landing currency is being set. So if you look at the screen here, I can see Canadian, I can see Euro, and the yen calculations based on the region in which this particular jacket is being landed. So that is also be taken care in the system. So before we are concluding, why you should choose Technia design to cost solution? Because it is based on a proven and flexible technology, and we are using the most advanced technology for leveraging the cost sheets and also collaborating with the suppliers. And the solution we have developed is in collaboration with our customers. So this is not being created just from the lab. This is directly from the customer-driven experience, customer engagements. And this implementation is with a minimum infrastructure, and so that it will be affordable to the IT budget. And it is a very cost-effective deployment. Why I'm saying is we want to have, we want to implement as a co-creation concept rather than just doing consulting, meaning the cost sheets and the cost elements are fully configurable to the end users, but this needs a co-creative mentality from the end users and also from Technia to effectively implement the solution. And the solution can be further extended using RFQ and the quotation RFQ process if the company insists they need to have a formal RFQ process and before the cost approval happening from our supplier awarding process. That can be fully integrated into this. And we also like to have a long-term relationship with our customer base for a continuous improvement of the solution. I know this design to cost concept is seems to be very simple, but it cannot be implemented without a continuous improvement process. So our process basically including streamlining all the design aspect, the sampling process, and also the costing. So it's fully leveraging the cross expertise in the organization. And also, you remember the last bullet it's very important is this ENOVIA release transparent. Right now, the solution which you are seeing is fully on ENOVIA platform, and it is platform neutral, meaning it means it is release transparent. So it is being working from 2010X even up to 2014X. So So this is the transparency of the solution. With that, I will just open up these just for the question and answers. Let me unmute for the question. Any questions so far? Can you guys hear me? Can you unmute from your side and ask questions? Hello? Can you please talk because I cannot hear anyone. So can you just talk I'm not sure how wide this is unmuting. Yeah, so
hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to ask regarding the inner and outer costs and how it's displayed on the table.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Is it two different lines to add up the inner and outer, or is it a subset of a line item?
No, it is two different line items. It will come as inner and outer.
Okay. And within the cost scenario, so let's say you have an inner and outer cost. If you are negotiating costs between two vendors, will you have 4 different line items then?
Yeah, it will be 4 different line items because you cannot take inner from one supplier and outer from another supplier.
Okay, so you can't mix and match the inner and outer.
No, you cannot. It is from the same vendor, and the idea of that one is basically, in the case of supplier, to give you a price, negotiated price with you for the inner and outer. But it is separate when you come to the landing in order to get a better duty on for a blended rate. That's why it is been done like that. Yep.
Okay, so you cannot pick one inner from one vendor, one outer from another vendor, and then put it together?
No, no.
Okay.
Yeah, that will be difficult because this has been packaged as one package, one set actually.
Okay, because we have a situation where there is an outer that's different from an inner and 2 different vendors, but it's okay. I understand that concept. The second question is the colorway costing. How are you determining what that colorway costing is, at the time of creating the cost or after?
At the time of creating the cost sheet. So when you have different colorways are there for a particular garment. For example, you have a T-shirt available in 4 colorways: yellow, blue, and green. So when you are creating the cost sheet, there is a way called a guided colorway. The guided colorway can be yellow, blue, or green. So when you create the cost sheets, you pick up which colorway you want to create the cost sheet. So accordingly, you will be seeing the colorway in the, for example, I don't know, you might have noticed this when you look at the colorway costing, you can see in the cost sheets which is the colorway for this particular garment, and you will be costing.
I see. The other question is there, have you guys devised something where you guys are, it's easier to create cost options quickly? Like, can you create it in bulk? Like, let's say you have 5 different colors with all different colorway costing. Is there a way to create it in bulk?
No. So, but I think the basic framework is there. If you want to create colorway cost for all the colorways on a single click of button, we can really do that, but we have not done it yet.
I see. Okay. Okay, that's it for my questions.
Okay, thank you, Sam.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you really want to see a demo of that, the splitting of the cost and the multi-piece cost sheet template, yeah, send me a note. I can arrange it.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Any questions? Okay, if there are no questions, thank you very much for taking the time to join the conference. And if you have any questions, my email is already there. You can send an email to either to me or Rade, or you can contact your Technia contacts. So this WebEx is being recorded. So I will upload and I will share with the community. Thank you very much and have a nice day. Bye.